I'm 23 years old and last name Kulkarni. I'm from Indian. My heritage is Indian. I grew up in India as much as you can put it that way because I was there until I was 15. Well, I moved here and I had my 15th birthday, so I guess 15. And yeah, and so I'm kind of a midway. I would assume that's how it is. I came here, had my high school life, which was weird, but high school, and yeah, so it's like halfway. So it's been like 10 years almost since I've been here. My long-term goal to be happy is too cliche and everybody wants that, but I think if I can be professionally satisfied, that would be my personal long-term goal, because that's so intermingled with my personal life. They are codependent. I don't think it's a question of what's important to me. I think they're both equal because I need that both balance. So sometimes things switch in priorities that may be personal and professional dependent on the time. What makes me most happy in my personal life? Really figuring it out, which are the people in my life that really care about me, like really, really care about me, and not having this fake happiness about things that are being really amazing to me and not being this fake pretending friend. And I think just figuring that out, even though sometimes it's kind of up and down road, it's making me most cheerful right now because I'm figuring it out and kind of understanding how I cannot be a fool in future. I am satisfied with where I am right now. I'm satisfied I took this chance mentally that I am going to feel the righteousness in living the life as an artist, and I think I've accepted that, acknowledged that, and yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make any money off it or whatever the name and that comes with all being an artist. Personal expectations outside society is not as much like hovering in as in the immediate family and friends, but for professionally it's kind of a greater sphere because there's family, friends, and then your professional, known people. So I think, yeah, I do feel pressure, especially I can probably talk more about professionally because personally right now I'm some kind of a mental barrier. That's the phase I'm going through, but and I think I'm realizing that there has been a lot of pressure that I blocked it out conveniently until now, and now I can see where the pressure is because I come from a very traditionally disciplined teaching for art, which sounds kind of weird when you think about it, but so it's when you come through that discipline and people in that section of your life, I think the expectations are to follow that tradition, because when you come from a tradition, the predecessors want you to follow that. That's kind of the ancestral thing. So yeah, I do feel pressure about that, and definitely more so now in professional life, because as I keep on showing my new work to other people and people from that discipline, I think it's more prevalent now that everybody's waiting to kind of, this is probably my paranoia, but it's like waiting for me to fail or miserably or maybe make my own mark or something. But I know I feel like a really strong pressure nowadays. That's what. Professionally. Personally right now I don't give a shit, so maybe that's what it is. I'm sure there are pressures, but have I ever felt typecast? Oh, all the time. Race is something that really cannot get away from it. Like, no matter how I try not to be a culture artist, which is actually a professional struggle, not really personal, but again, it's kind of intermingled, is that you cannot really get away from how you look, no matter how you try, and how it's at a certain point you're going to get typecast, and I've been typecast. I think there is something to be said about being an Asian woman artist. I personally think, because I have Asian friends who are in other careers, and I think as much as they go through the same hybrid growing up process, I think not being an artist is a little bit easier if you're an Asian woman, just because you have less family pressure. Like it's the whole thing about, oh, if you're going to go into arts, all about there's all the bad things happen in that things. And the Asian culture as it is such a communal culture, so it's like if one thing happens to one, it kind of happens to all of us. So it's like you have that family pressure on it just because you feel like you have to hold up something, like have to be some way or some. So I think it's something to be said about Asian women artists. I think it's easier if I was a doctor, maybe some other kind of pressures, but I think professionally I would not have any pressure. But now it's like personal and professional, so I get typecasted from the world, from the outer world, and also from people close to me. So it's a joyride every day. Women nowadays just generally frustrate me wherever I go. I think it's about how they are being so kind of single-mindedly oriented in one thing, which kind of frustrates me, because I think women by themselves are putting their this kind of have this thought process where it's either the one single-mindedness. I think you will find is just, oh, I need to go do this professionally, or other person is, I have to do this personally, and there's this other third category which thinks that, oh, I can have it all. And I think all three are so single-mindedness in that way. It's such black and white things. And I think women put pressure on themselves more so, and then that's how you reflect on society, because there's a reason why as men grow older they become distinguished, and women as they grow older something fades from them. And I don't think anything fades from them, it just fades from their own minds. So I think society is, women are a part of society. So society, I think we can blame certain things in society for sure, because there are certain things that happen, but I think mostly so many things can change if just women kind of wise up and just listen to themselves. I think they frustrate me more than I think anybody else. And I don't really have any advice for it other than they should know when they're bullshitting themselves. That's probably my own advice. Like, they should just know, like, really, what is, you can have it all, but what is that all that you want? Like, it's just so generic.